Tia Berry, Portia O, Militant One, Professor First King James, and Romeo Thor. Got Thor in the house, you guys. Happy Hollow Day versus Halloween, Hollow Day. You got a Spelman graduate here. Congratulations for graduating, Tierra Berry from Spelman College. It is that day, and congratulations to all those graduates.
Yep.
Sun is shining nice and bright. Birds are chirping, and we're ready for flight. Woo-hoo.
The sun is shining, shining, nice and bright, bright. The birds are chirping. Now I'm ready to fly. Time to.
All right, for another day. No one can stop me.
Atlanta power outage. That's probably what's going on.
Yeah. Time to get ready for another day.
No one can stop me.
And I don't mind. So let's get ready.
About that time.
Good
morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning. How do you do? Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning. How do you do? Good. Time to be great. Good morning to the race. Your dance and play. Good. So start today. Good. Open your eyes. Good. Reach for the sky. Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. How do you do? Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. How do you do? Good morning. You see me on my grind. Stars got to shine. I'm supernova. You see me taking over.
I'm on the
move. So let me hear you say,
every day we gonna work and play. Hey, hey, it's Rolling Out AM. Wake up call today. Coming your way. It's Romeo International, you know. King James with the professor going on the floor. Portia, the militant. Black Panther today. And Tierra Bear, the Spelman, Crown. Boom. It's all about you, Tierra, today. Congratulations. Happy birthday to all those out there whose happy birthday. We're going to probably have you a cake tomorrow. We got a big celebration coming on, but of course we've got these Happy Wings versus Halloween costumes on. Happy Wings. We're not going to be Halloweens, but just shifting your look and feel. What's it feel like to put it on? You ready to walk the stage? Sure.
I've been ready to walk the stage since 2016, actually. But it's exciting. It's exciting to go in the closet and pull it out and not be sad about the fact that I didn't get to walk, because now I can still wear this outfit on Halloween.
Yes, girl, you can wear that outfit all year round. Mm-hmm. People gonna congratulate you and throw blessings your way and all of that good stuff. Yes, congratulations.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Sort of a big deal.
That's the PWI talking.
Look, I love you. I support you. I'll get you something nice that has gold and blue and white in it. I support you.
Thank you. But shout out to the AUC. Everybody out there, we're doing our thing. We made it happen out of the craziest.
Shout out to all the graduates, no matter where you went. I'm not a big initials versus initials person, so I'm not a PWI versus it. It takes so much to get a black student in and out of college by all the parents and uncles and mamas and sacrifice, and then they come up with another divisive way for us to figure out like there's some real debate. We got a community to protect, and we got to annihilate that kind of nonsense that talks about where you went. We all still walk in this skin and walk in this legacy.
Professor. Yeah, the fact that you brought up a village, because when we graduate, it really is bigger than us. It's people still wanting me to walk across the stage because they need to see me do it, So we walk for everybody. It's bigger than us, especially as young people of color.
That's right. And then where I like it, get the whole money's worth out of them outfits, Get your whole money's worth. Get your whole money's worth. So I love it. get your money's worth out of this. This is definitely gonna be the move. Feels good.
It feels good.
Terry, did you hang out with anybody from Philly? Because they are on fire, and then so is DC. So, Militant One, you've got the sisters, brothers and sisters have taken to the streets again, and it is that moment. What you think about that, Romeo?
I think you know what's so getting scary, and because like I said, me and Portia talked about this 2 weeks ago. The closer it gets, the more aggressive people are coming. Socially, I see damn near every day a video where people are walked up on or approached because of their opinion on where their voters are going to go, or their just political stance. Something that was so disturbing yesterday. A mother was with her son, and they were at a rally, and it was a Biden-Trump rally, and the mother told the 16-year-old
Biden who?
Biden. He meant Biden Harris.
It was a Biden Harris rally,
but and there was Trump people on the other side too.
Right, and on camera, the mother told her 16-year-old, 17-year-old son, "Go get him," and he charged this grown man. The grown man laid him out, and then
wait a minute. Hold on. He was 16. That man, he looked like a man. The one that got pushed to the ground.
Yes.
Let's find that footage, Romeo, so we can bring it up, so we can show people what we're talking about.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'll find that right now.
Was she for Biden? And I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get it straight in my head. Was she for Biden because she was holding a Biden?
She was holding the Biden side, correct?
Yes. And
she engaged her son to act, and it was just going back to the point that Muncie just made up. A lot of these cities, man, they are like, at this point in time, I'll be honest with you, I think I'm ready for it to be over so that people can stop being on level. Yeah, like it's weird. It's really awkward.
Yeah, that's the reason why I went and early voted yesterday. I didn't want to wait until the last day on Friday. I didn't want to wait until election day. So I went ahead and did my civic duty. You see it right there? Bam, boom. So you know what I'm saying?
Where you get that sticker from, Terry? Where you get that sticker from?
They sell them at the You know they sell them at the
That's what I'm saying. He wants to sit up here and show off his sticker. No, doggone well.
Wait. Time out. You should not. Yeah, I earned that sticker, and you should not be allowed to wear an outfit that you don't know the history of. I want to know when the Black Panthers were founded and who founded it.
Let me tell you something, Professor. Let me tell you something, Professor. You was not going to come for me this morning. And we do have...
Wait a minute, you came for me. You came for me.
We do have producer Ashley on the show, so we're going to find out during the show because it is in my report.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we don't have to do that right now. I mean, we don't have to do that because the Black Panthers were founded in October 1966 by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale in Oakland, California. No, you did not say that. You did.
She just claimed it, right out of your mouth. She just took it and claimed it. That's what
snatched it.
Yeah, just you don't even get a chance to, as soon as you say it, she got it and said it third. I mean, fake news, Steve. Just fake news, man.
Listen.
I mean, and not only that, she snatched my good feelings away about doing my civic duty and standing in a 3-hour line to vote. She snatched that away too. You a soul sucker. Portia is a soul sucker.
I don't want to say it in Alabama. If you go early, you got to fill out a ballot and then have 2 people with you to witness that you're doing an absentee ballot or early voting, and then go upstairs to another room to vote. I mean, voter suppression is on 10s.
Yeah. It's that sounds like that Selma thing. If you saw the movie Selma and all the things that Oprah Winfrey and her character had to do in the beginning of the movie, this is exactly what we were talking about, and it's based upon the true story. So the Oprah character was true of what they had to go through, who they had to remember, who they had to recite, who they had to have with them. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why the great late John Lewis on 1965 in Selma, Alabama, crossing the Pittis Bridge, he spelled this. So Americans, all of you, really, all of you. You know what I'm saying? Because he nearly died on that bridge. Thank God he didn't for all the contributions that he had. But Yeah, this is the reason why we are doing this today.
Yeah.
We out here.
We
Right, Miss
Out
Barry.
here. We out here.
Well, I wanted to know. I mean, who from the Black Panthers is she resembling today? Is it Kathleen? Is it Elaine Brown?
I'm gonna go for all
Barry.
strong Black women.
Or is it Angela Davis? No, don't go for all Black women because you get her out of it.
Asada.
Shakur.
Okay,
Yes,
well,
Mr.
thanks, Tiara, for bailing out Portia this morning.
Look. She showed up. Okay. What you got on?
Yes,
With
Professor.
the bullets. She brought the bullets, T.
Don't play with me.
Yeah, but if you got bullets and you got armory and you got weapons, but you don't know what you're shooting at or who your enemy is, or then
I know who
Oh,
my
she know the enemy. We don't.
Let me
You
show
ain't gotta
y'all.
know
Let
when
me-
the
let
Black
me show y'all who my
Panther Party was
enemy
born
is.
to know who the enemy is right now. Come on.
See?
Come on.
Terry.
Come on. A 5-year-old knows
There
the
goes my enemy. You know what I'm saying?
enemy.
Y'all notice how me and Munson got quiet and just let y'all just do run, Terry.
It's the wolf in sheep's clothing for me.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What we got, Miss Barry?
What we got? We going to reports?
Yes, we are.
Let's do it.
Let's
Do it.
And do it.
All right, so there wasn't a lot of buzz around the BET Hip Hop Awards this year, which was really surprising to me. Nobody really talked about it like that. But a lot of people were mad on Twitter saying that rapper Lil Baby losing to Megan Thee Stallion was very wrong because of all of the hits and the big songs that he had. He had a huge political song this year, and they felt like he kind of got robbed of that award.
You're not gonna beat a woman. Hey, let me give y'all a history lesson in women. You're not gonna beat a female who got Beyonce on her side, the world on her side, because they feeling her pain during this whole whatever debacle. And on top of that, she is creating the best twerk songs in history for women. He was gonna lose.
I don't even think it has anything to do with gender. I just think the fact that she had more of an impact nationally and internationally than he did, and that's just simple as that. Her songs resonated this year better than his did, and he just got to get over it. I mean, yeah, she got Beyonce in her corner. She did a collab with Cardi B with a record-breaking song. I think it broke several records actually. So WAP. I mean, come on, man. She had that thing in the bag.
Yeah, I agree, Terry. I agree. It was warranted. She deserved it.
Yeah, and it had nothing to do with gender.
So was this Lil Baby? I always get them mixed up. Is it
Lil Baby from Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay. So Lil Baby, was he the one complaining, or it was his fans complaining?
It was more so Twitter. It wasn't really Lil Baby. He's not really that kind of person that's controversial and cries about his awards. It's more so he has a very strong fan base that's like, no, he had a bigger year.
And the BET Hip Hop Awards was good. BET Hip Hop Awards was good. I
think it was good.
They did an excellent job to the level. I don't have another way to say it. They did an excellent job. If I wanted to compare it to MTV Awards or another virtual award show, like they literally were on point this time with how they transitioned, how it looked. It was really good. It was really good.
Well, I just hope that this represents the last of, or coming to the last of the virtual award shows. Man, 2021 got to be different, please.
We're gonna be right here in virtual. I think the other thing it says is that not only does it really not resonate and communicate, that people have so much other things to watch that it doesn't have its place in culture. You know, if it's not on the small screen, you may not need and win if you're not going to be on the small screen, because the small screen is dominating. So I don't know that it has the same cultural impact. Award shows and nobody can go anywhere, nobody can celebrate any other place. It's not having the same impact because everybody can give a virtual anything right now.
There you go with that.
Super duper true. But again, shout out to Megan Thee Stallion for winning the award. She did a great New York Times piece, an opinion piece. I do have a snippet of it that I want to read because, you know, I'm all about celebrating Black women and their voices. So she says that I'm not afraid of criticism. We live in a country where we have the freedom to criticize elected officials. And it's ridiculous that some people think the simple phrase, protect Black women, is controversial. We deserve to be protected as human beings, and we are entitled to our anger about a laundry list of mistreatment and neglect that we suffer. So if anybody has time, go check out that opinion piece. She says that she is more than just a rapper. She's educated. She's college educated. And just shout out to Megan for being multifaceted. So we're going to move on.
She didn't twerk in that?
What?
I'm sorry?
He was being facetious and condescending.
That is not condescending. That is an overused word. That doesn't mean condescending.
You can say she didn't twerk in that. She was talking about being accomplished. She was talking about being multifaceted. She was talking about being educated. And he said she didn't twerk in that. That was definitely condescending.
No.
I think he may have said, and she can twerk.
I don't think that's.
If he has humor, it doesn't mean that you get to attack his analysis.
Nobody was attacking.
It is if you were saying. I don't think he meant he was.
I just want to hear what he said one more time. Can you say it with your chest a little bit?
No, I said. Did she did not twerk in that? You know what I'm saying? Because
do you twerk when you write an opinion piece?
Well, you can't. Yeah, you can.
I think there was a big opinion piece when you said
yes, you can. Yes, you can. With modern technology, you can twerk and you can have an accompanying video. You can go ahead and go on Instagram, which pretty much every other video on her Instagram. Whoa! You asked me a question. I'm going to finish my statement.
Okay, finish.
So you can go on her Instagram page, and every other one is a twerk, or she's showing the crack of her behind on pretty much every one. So what I'm saying is a reality. She is educated and she loves to twerk. She is a rapper. And she is educated. Right. She's multifaceted. So when I say twerking and writing, I am not insulting or being condescending. I'm speaking truth.
What y'all think, Facebook? Because it sounded condescending to me. I don't know.
I mean, somebody's saying something and it's their opinion. And at the end of the day, if each thing is a condescending concept, it just means like all of a sudden everything is off color. But it's not off color when the biggest song to date was a twerk. I mean, and described anatomy. So when we sit back and say he said that, all of a sudden, which one is it?
Well, let me go back to what Megan said.
Because it's a comment not on what she said. It was a comment. Everybody likes to reposition the truth. And so if you are a stripper, we're going to say this, and you got a college degree and you strip. It's not going to not include all the things you're doing to get our attention. Everything that you're doing to get our attention, he's just describing the thing that you use to get everyone's attention. Now, you can say it any way you want it at the end of the day. That's because it's a constant attack when the color or the comment, because I find it coloring the way you do it.
I feel like if Jay-Z was to write a piece like this, I want to go back and say, but did he talk about drugs though?
Right.
You know,
was he talking about
nobody's giving him a pass. No, but you can even do it different. You could say you're a billionaire and you haven't done LeBron's example and built a school. You could say all of that. You could say the first King James.
But that's not the first thing that we as women think about. But I think that men often go back to women and their anatomy when they're just making a statement about the status of
No, don't. You ain't gonna even go there because what happened was
is that hold on. Y'all need to stop attacking.
Not the attack.
No, it's not an attack.
Stop attacking her.
We're responding.
She's a college graduate.
Hold on. And wait, months. Okay, months. The big. Hold up. She's a college educated, and the biggest song of the year, a record-breaking song, is WAP. It is not just about the anatomy. It is anatomical specificity.
At the time that she was talking about this opinion,
that's not what we was talking about. She was
not talking about WAP.
Okay. So no, what I'm saying today, after he gets to make his comment after her comment, which this is what we do, you don't get to attack him, shout the loudest, and then throw your hand as though it could go through the screen.
Y'all see my name militant one. I'm
be about it. She bad it.
No.
That is.
She is a Spelman graduate. She can hold her own in any room, board.
We understand.
Did
y'all?
We're not gonna let nobody attack her.
I don't feel like she's babying me. I feel
No,
like
but I don't think that.
We're protecting the baby.
First of all, that's not militancy. That's her gesticulating wildly while she's talking. You know what I'm saying? That's not militancy.
So what we're not gonna do is go for the way people express themselves, because ebonics is ebonics, and that's not always a negative thing.
Well, hold on a second now. You can't. Did you actually hear what Munson just said?
No, they're not listening.
WAP is the #1 song in the country in the nation
of the year.
Nobody was
hold up, time out.
About WAP.
Hold up. I'm not talking about WAP. What I'm referring to, Ms. Militant, before you cut me off, is the fact that you cannot discard that as a reference to the statement she made, just because
she made more than a statement. She wrote about a good 4 to 5 page opinion piece with the New York Times.
And I'm telling you, you can't disregard the fact that WAP is still #1 and use that as a reference. She blew up off of twerking. Am I wrong or right?
She blew up off of being a talented rapper. She didn't. She blew up off of twerking.
Okay.
She would be comparing her to Magic City and Blue Flame. She blew up because Shorty could rap.
No. She blew. No, she.
You think Beyonce is hanging out with her because she could dance?
I don't know if it's just blew up. I think the conversation that we were talking about.
She blew up because she can rap and she can twerk.
Also take
the combination
context, the whole conversation.
Like, let's not say people aren't talented, because we're not gonna do that.
Nobody said that.
Nobody ever said that. Where are you going with this? Where are you going with this?
After you give your report, it's for us.
Oh my God.
No, please.
No, but
I mean, nobody said she wasn't talented. Whoever said, wait a minute, who here? Please state who said she wasn't talented.
It was
to me, it's like
nobody.
You say somebody blows up off of twerking when they out here making
she wrote
for years. Like I met Megan years ago when she was just known for rap.
No, it's a combination of It's a combination of everything. It's a combination of being beautiful, talented, twerking, having a great song, a good beat. It's a combination of things.
Come on. Yeah.
No. I don't need to go on. What I'm saying is, nobody ever inferred or insinuated that she had she was devoid of skills.
It's what you admitted, though, to me.
You did.
It's what you admitted.
You misinterpreted.
No, I didn't have to admit it when you already covered the other. Like
we've already covered it.
At the end of the day, he was just doing a sunshine. Oh, and you could put in a Twerk. I mean, and the fact is, she could have given that same piece. She could have given that same piece to a black-owned company. So at the end of the day, when you sit back and you think about it, and she didn't do her piece with a black-owned company. And it's not that. You also have African-American people that have #1 songs that don't come and be on African-American media to be on their covers. We really need to talk about the whole idea of what the control is. So as you go and you think about it, there are many moments that we say we're so pro-black, but at the end of the day, we're not building even social media. As many billionaires are, there isn't a black social media platform that we all get on, not a black-owned one. And so when we sit back and say it as we're just here having it, he was doing lightly, well, she's done everything else, let's add Twerk to it and move on. Then everybody says it's an attack. We got to get out of that, because what that does is it also makes it so that when we think about why are these black men alienated about how they feel about voting in this race, there is a problem that we all pit one another and attack and base it on.
It's not pitting.
No, it is. I'm just okay. It is the reason that there's that 12 to 13% and men saying that they're considering voting for somebody else. Because they look at the fact and they say, well, you know what? Y'all want us to vote for somebody that truly was 3 strikes out and voted. We know that. And we're trying to get them to go to the center. And I'm just saying the conversations, when they feel like they can't express themselves and make their point, alienates their thought and their thinking about what you're saying. And I'm just sharing that with you as a young sister and the other Panther mother over there.
I just think that to me, it's more so about if I speak up, if Black women speak up and we share our opinion about how we think men make us feel, it's more so like, oh, we're attacking or alienating men, and that's not the case for me. That's not the case for me.
You got to speak first.
And what I'm saying,
you. He didn't interrupt you. He spoke after you.
I just don't think that
you didn't even
I don't
jump
think
in.
anything I said
The
was
person
forced a
that
black
jumped
man
in
not to
was
go
the other
vote.
person next to you.
Okay,
So,
listen, y'all.
and hold on.
move on.
Hold on. And what I'm saying as a young man is, it's similar to what Munson just said. When men make a comment in reference to what a woman's statement is, it gets turned around as an attack, and then it gets misconstrued.
Hold on.
And now hold on, no,
See,
it
now
does.
You interrupt him again.
And then it get misconstrued as an attack. No, King James clearly said, "And she twerks."
He didn't say that. He said,
he said, "And she
didn't
twerks."
twerk
He
when
asked
she
a
wrote
question. He asked a question,
Y'all-
right? Portia was a.
and y'all turned-
She didn't
and
twerk
y'all-
when she wrote that. Basically, is what he was saying. She didn't.
You
twerk when she wrote that.
you turn it into a
You
political.
don't even remember what you said.
No,
Tim.
I'm right here. I'm right here. I said,
But you don't remember.
I said, no, I do. I said,
Why you gonna
I
tell me
said-
you don't remember? Miss
Kathleen Cleaver, the one who cannot name a single person who was with the Black Panthers.
Oh, Sasha Shakur.
Now,
But is that an attack on
no.
a black woman because she doesn't know that?
All right, well, we got.
I'm just saying, y'all. Come on now.
So we're attacking you, but then you go back and attack her.
You know what I'm saying?
No. I just think that what I was saying was, I was just asking, and did she twerk? Because she is known,
Absolutely, that's what she said.
And she is prolific with it, but it does not.
She's a prolific twerker.
But it does. But she's not. It does not detract from her enormous talent and the year's biggest hit. It does not at all. So it's.
Romeo said he was over this conversation with y'all.
Well, Romeo, when you come back, man, let us know what Facebook thinks about this, because I know I didn't attack anybody.
Let me see.
And didn't insinuate that anybody was not talented, because that girl got it going on. Matter of fact, I think she's much better than Cardi. That's what I think.
Yes,
and we don't have, and we shouldn't be comparing just female rappers to female rappers. But that's another topic.
Okay, yeah, that's another. That topic is dead, because that's so ridiculous. People compare sports athletes, LeBron to Michael Jordan, the rappers, male rappers to each other. The comparisons happen all the time. Yeah. That is a positive thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
do you know
let
how
me tell
many
y'all
years?
what Facebook is saying. Facebook said, move on. Facebook said another conversation.
Yeah, because that last statement was kind of crazy. Let's move on.
Iris Becker said, move on, please. Kathleen Collins said, I agree with you, Iris. Come on, y'all. All right. Next up on the report.
Let's bring it out. All right, so Tamar, she went on the Tamron Hall show and she talked about the suicide and then the abuse allegation involving her ex, who Portia laughs about saying he's a weasel. And I wanted to play that video clip so we can just get an idea of where Tamar's headspace is at.
Listen, let me tell you something, Tamara. I am a survivor of a domestic violence relationship. And not at any point was David and I in an abusive relationship.
He says you videotaped it and that you threatened to show.
No, I voice recorded it. He videotaped it. He has a camera in his car.
Does that video or your voice recording show any physical abuse?
No, it doesn't. I mean, he showed him text messages and between he and I.
But nothing that substantiates. You say what?
No, he has the videotape. He has it. It was in his car. Release it. No, let me tell you something, Tamara. David, he was my best friend. He was an amazing, amazing partner. He was my son's best friend as well. They were best friends. And it's just so hard because everything else I never expected this from him. Now I have to be real with myself. Is he acting like this because he found me the way that he found me? I don't know.
We're gonna let you get yourself together.
So what y'all think about that?
I'm confused. So I don't know what happened that led up to the recording, the voice recording, as well as the video recording. Like, what was allegedly in that?
Well, apparently, I mean, according to the source that I read, David had recorded her saying mean and evil things to him. And he basically said after that she was abusive towards him, both physically and verbally. And she says she denies that, and that she has her own video clips of conversations and things with each other to say that I have receipts and I was never abusive with him, but she has been in abusive relationships before, but he did find her while she was still broken herself.
Okay. So has either one of them released their versions of the recordings, audio and or video?
Not publicly. I know he's made statements. I don't know if they have a court situation going on, but it hasn't been released publicly. But you've seen the allegations that he's made saying that she is abusive, and she's had to recant that story.
I mean,
it's sad. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're not a couple for a reason. I mean, something bad happened to fracture that relationship, and I just think that there's a lot of hurt because she's unfollowed her own family, and now she's defending him on television. I'm confused like you are, Portia. I don't know what to think about this. All I can do is go back from her past behavior and know that she can jump from one side to the other pretty quickly in terms of her emotions. So yeah, I just pray for her. I pray for her healing. So
her interview was definitely touching, and it made you feel some empathy towards her. So
and
hopefully
you can see that she still has a lot of emotions internally that she needs to sort through herself.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well,
we're gonna pray for her, Terry. That's a good one. Just pray for her.
Yeah, bless Tamar with love. Yeah.
All right, we got another one. All right, so our girl Beyonce has revealed her new Ivy Park collection. The social media has been in a frenzy about it. I really like this color scheme. Beyonce kills everything that she does, so I'm not surprised. But a lot of people are excited about this coming out. It should be out by the holidays. She has collabed with Adidas before, and her last collection sold out. So this is the next collection that she's doing with them.
So that is fire. I do like it. I love the way the color palette. Yes, I love the neutrals. I love the lime, the citrus color. The greens, definitely cute. Super cute.
I mean, my respect
celery.
For her.
Celery. How did I not know that? I knew that. I knew it was celery. Thank you, producer Ashley. Celery.
My respect level went up for her a few years back when she took over the Super Bowl, and everybody on stage looked like you are looking like right now, Portia. That's when I was just like, okay, she felt comfortable bringing out that side of her socio-political, side of her. I don't know, of herself, and she felt comfortable doing it, and she did it right before not just America but the entire world, because everybody watched it. 100 million people watched the Super Bowl. So from then, I've always liked her music, but then my respect level ratcheted up once she took that on. So everything she does, I'm just a big fan of her. For the past few years.
Yeah, Beyonce's music all around has become a lot more just conscious of her blackness like that. She's definitely evolved from the singer that she was 10, 15 years ago.
Absolutely. And speaking of her socio-political views, she posted on her website, Walter Wallace Jr. That was the latest casualty from Philadelphia. The police shot and killed a man with mental health issues after being called to help. But shout out to Beyonce because she did acknowledge it on her website.
Yeah, and that's another thing that she's been doing the last, especially in 2020. I mean, she has donated millions of dollars to help alleviate food insecurities, her and Rihanna, but we're talking about Beyonce here. She's donated a lot of money, millions of dollars, up to 10 million with the Twitter founder. I believe his name is Jack, in terms of helping with COVID and providing testing or whatever. So Beyonce has really stepped up her game. You know what I'm saying? She's bossing up this year, and I'm happy for her, all the success she's getting.
Definitely being very vocal in terms of political views, Black Lives Matter, all of that great stuff. So I applaud her for that, in addition to her businesses. Yes,
and for sticking up for Breonna Taylor, which I will get to in my report later on in the show. In terms of, there's another development in that, if you guys haven't heard of it yet, but I'll get to that later.
Okay.
That was my last story. Do we want to do Black History?
History.
What? Yeah, we can talk about.
All right. So Today was the day back in 1969 that the Supreme Court ordered immediate segregation. Now I know people are like, wait, I thought that it was years before that they had made the Thurgood Marshall made his great case against segregation. However, 15 years after the Brown versus Board of Education, there was not enough quickness to desegregating schools. So when they first passed the law, they had said that they would do it with all deliberate speed, but it wasn't happening across the country. There was a lot of places across the country, a lot of states, you know what kind of states I'm talking about, that were not willing to integrate their schools. So 15 years later, this ruling passed that said that they had to integrate all public schools at once, point blank, period.
Yeah, there was a lot of bureaucratic resistance across the country. And, you know, change comes at a glacial pace in America as it is. So when there's resistance,
Yes, glacial.
Interrupted him again.
I was giving him kudos. I love the way that he described glacial.
When you interrupt him, you can do it after he speaks.
Okay, my bad.
Interrupt him.
I'm not gonna come for you today.
No.
You
Yeah. No, I was just commenting on Tiara's point in that, you know, change is already, you know, moves at a very glacial pace. And when you add to that bureaucratic resistance and social resistance, because they didn't want to sit their children next to Black and brown children, that's the reason why 15 years later that this thing even became a case. So we seem to have a lot of the merry-go-round on the co-hosting thing, and somebody sent out an APB out on Romeo International. What happened to him?
He's back. He know we got to do the social report real quick, so hopefully he comes back on.
Well, Romeo, man, I got your back on this, bro. Come on back into the fold, man.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Post up strong, man. Post up strong, man. I got you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the weather, y'all.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, shout out to everybody who's not shout out, but God bless everyone.
I'm looking at my balcony. And I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm looking at my balcony right now, and there are leaves all over. It seems like it was a tornado last night.
Yeah, much love to everybody who's south of Atlanta.
Zeta?
Yeah, and it touched the shore last night, overnight, and when I woke up this morning, my balcony was just full of leaves and branches, or small branches. So something serious happened, and thank God, as Munson knows, I'm a heavy sleeper, so I ain't hear nothing. But yeah, shout out to everybody who's in New Orleans, South Alabama, South Florida, Northern Florida, and South Alabama. Anybody who was impacted by this, we bless you with love. I know that you were suffering, because this seems like this is one tornado after another. It's not just one or two anymore. It's like 6 or 7 every season. So shout out to everybody who was impacted by this.
Yeah, it's becoming just a norm when you don't even hear about it coming up in the news. And that's scary as well, because before you would know when a storm was coming. Now it's like, oh, another storm, another this. Like, we're getting used to tragedy. It's terrible.
Yeah,
plus the racial pandemic and plus economic pandemic. I mean, you got a whole lot of storms going on, financial storms. It is a lot of storms going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 26, according to our producer, 26 major storms, either hurricanes or tropical storms. So, damn, that's a lot. That's a lot for one season. So shout out to the people who live near major bodies of water. My heart goes out to you, because I know what it's like to build something up and see it crash to the ground, have to rebuild again. I know that personally, so I feel for you. Romeo, he's back. Romeo, what's happening?
I need to go back to the coast. I don't know about this back in Atlanta and knocking out power and stuff. Shout out to D Shields for holding me down. We need Team Romeo Car Madness stickers. Yep, we need to get Team Romeo Car Madness stickers. You absolutely right, D. I'm gonna put that together.
No. But everybody needs one of these stickers right now. You know what I'm saying? We need these stickers. You know what I'm saying?
That I could stand behind. I could get with that. Everybody needs one of those stickers.
You know what?
Everybody.
Tara, did you vote?
Huh?
I'm going to vote today.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, I decided to do it yesterday because of the fact I didn't want to wait till the last day on Friday for early voting, and then I definitely didn't want to wait for, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not that I have a bad feeling about Election Day, but I think it's going to be kind of intense. The society is going to be intense. So I didn't want to be out standing in line on Election Day.
You might
so
not want to even be outside that day.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Don't forget you got to be, we're going live from 5 to 1 in the morning. So be sure to set that date, T, to come on and we're going to have to set it up like a newsroom. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad for the advance notice, Portia. Since she's setting it up, I don't understand why I didn't get notified, but that's okay. Thank you.
I'm ignorant, so I just want to make sure we mention it to you because it will be on vMix by then. So we'll be on our whole new system, so we'll have it.
Y'all really just made my morning. Kathleen Collins, D Shields, Iris Baker, Janice Simmons, all this team Romeo. That's what I'm talking about.
From ear to ear.
I'm crying.
Love y'all.
They put an APB out on his location, y'all. They was looking for him on Facebook.
How much you paying them to comment?
No.
Yeah, but they got a lot of schools that they canceled due to this power outage in ATL. So
I wouldn't advise nobody to go outside right now.
But it's kind of quiet. It's kind of quiet down where I'm at.
Is Shirley
on the south side?
Philadelphia?
Shirley Carter is on in Philadelphia. Yes,
you okay, Philly? The neighborhood's cool.
Good question.
Everybody calm down.
I think we calming down. Death is hard to just accept.
I saw a tweet the other day that said if freedom don't ring, the chopper's gonna sing. I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all.
What did it say? If freedom don't ring, what?
The chopper's gonna sing.
Oh Lord.
You know what? I would, whoever made that meme, that's a deadly meme right now. That's a real, because it must keep telling y'all people at their tipping point. I would prefer to put out, and this is so funny. Right now, everything I'm putting out is about peace and purpose. That's just basically it. Because between people attacking people, between people running up on people, I got this funny feeling, TR.
Well, see, the thing is that you combat that with love. That's why I keep saying, bless people with love, bless your enemies with love, bless people you love with love, bless with love. Let's start hurling love into the atmosphere. Even if we're going to have a whole bunch of hate coming in our direction, you need to counter it with love. Because I think you know what I'm saying?
The biggest thing you have is people are standing up. I mean, it is very out of the norm for this society to see Black people standing up, like that young sister yesterday that we had, KJ from Kansas City. You've got people really who just are not tolerating it.
Yep.
And you have people who have literally been systematically put out of work because a lot of businesses have wanted to close for a long time, and they did. And so you've got an entire country under some type of double stress, financial, emotional, and now you can't even get a hug, Romeo. You can't even walk up to somebody and just get a hug. I mean, wow, you can't get a hug. So it is paralyzed a lot of emotional support that you get just from friends. Hey man, good to see you. You kind of got to do the virtual hug. You're like, that didn't feel like nothing.
Hey y'all, hey. Air hug.
I know, for real.
No, I just think that we do need to pay attention to all of our mental well-being, because there is a study out there, and I'll go ahead and look it up a little bit later, that says people live longer with the human touch. So you know what I'm saying, there is healing powers in the hug. So when people don't hug and aren't able to communicate and hold each other and touch each other, it causes some type of problems in the soul. So so everybody
we're not made to be alone and apart. Even when you think about how we come into this world, you're attached to somebody. As soon as you come out, you hold them, you hug them, and ever since then you're embraced by people. So it's really weird.
Yeah,
I'm definitely with you.
Yeah, God made us interdependent, not independent. And so I think there's always been a fallacy when they try to promulgate that theory that, you need to do things on your own, or somebody tries to proclaim, I did this on my own. No, you didn't. You're a lie. You know what I'm saying? God made us interdependent people. It's a damn lie. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gets anywhere on their own. Nobody lives on their own. You know what I'm saying? And if they do, if they do, they're like that. What's that guy? The male bomber. They're crazy as hell. So what I'm saying is, everyone needs to be the human touch. You know what I'm saying? I hug a few close friends now, but you know what I'm saying, turning my head with my mask on, but still, it's a hard proposition just to even give somebody a hug. And hug is essential to life, I believe, or the human touch.
Especially when Georgia is going up. I mean, these cases are going up. So if you're confused about what that means that, you know what, there's a lot more COVID around you than you know. And you need to really think about the people that you are not letting your guard down. So, Terry, that was your last hug, brother. Do not hug anybody else, brother, because it is going up. And you got to watch people's social.
Are y'all getting flu shots?
I mean, because it is surprise. And the other thing that people aren't saying about COVID is you can be reinfected. So it's not like you get it once and it goes away. You can actually get COVID again.
That's not what your president said.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. If we stand back long enough, we'll see the repercussions of our actions because of the fact that look what happened to the White House after that gathering for that Supreme Court nominee. Look at what's happening in North Dakota because they wanted to invite the president and have everybody congregated together for a big rally. Now North Dakota has the highest rates in the country. Look at the state of Wisconsin, whose Republican body, the state, whatever you call it, the state representatives who are Republican, is ran by Republicans, and they didn't want to mandate masks. Now they have the highest rate overall in terms of new cases. So there are repercussions to this, and so
don't let
like Munson said, don't let your guard down.
Don't let your guard down.
For the rest of the winter. And remember what Dr. Fauci said, this thing will not be over, the first or second wave will not be over until December of 2021. We might have another year of this junk. So this ain't the time to let your guard down.
Are y'all getting flu shots?
No.
No. Have you ever gotten a flu shot? Because I've been thinking about it. My aunt is a nurse. She wants me to get one, but I don't get them. So it's kind of like, why now?
Well, the good thing about it, Tiara, that's a good point because medical practitioners have said that, and I have to find out where I got that. I need to write that down. They said that flu cases are already down like 26% because of the fact that people are already practicing social distancing, wearing masks, washing their hands, and putting on hand sanitizer. So in a way, by people practicing quarantine or people practicing these things, they're already helping to alleviate or prevent high cases of the flu. So that's a good thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Kamiyah.
Kamiyah. Good morning, everybody.
Kamiyah. Yes, Kamiyah.
You said my name correctly. I'm honored. Thank you.
Thank you
I'm
so
glad
much
she did
for
because I was
coming
about to butcher it.
Absolutely. So we have a special guest here today, Kamiyah. He is the Director of Strategic Communications at the Biden for President camp. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please introduce yourself. Give us a little bit of your background as well to our audience who's listening, and then we'll get right into this election, November 3rd. What can we expect? What's going on at the Biden camp?
Sure. So I'm Kamiyah Marshall. I'm the Director of Strategic Communications. That entails some of this, some of that. I'm literally using all of my fingers and both of my thumbs and my toes too. And so I'm pretty involved with when it comes to our principals, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, along with our top surrogates and spokes when it comes to the media. So this morning, I'm glad I have a few minutes to hang with you all and talk to you all. Come with a wide, diverse background of workings when it comes to communications and working within politics as well with elected officials such as the late Congressman John Lewis, the late Congressman Elijah Cummings, also working in the Obama administration at USDA, worked for Congressman Al Green. And so I've kind of worked with different influencers, activists, big celebrities when it comes to the behind the scenes and their media presence, et cetera. So here now, my focus is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, working to make sure they become president and vice president, God willing.
How has this election year been different from any other election that you've been a part of?
This has definitely been the most different election I've ever been a part of. You know, you don't plan to campaign during a global pandemic. And you also don't plan to campaign, Obama did it though, during a recession. And so, but this one is actually worse than it was last time when President Bush was president. And so I would say this has been very untraditional when it comes to our engagement, doing things virtually, digitally. This is something that has not been done or seen before. But hey, we had to make it happen, and that's what we're doing right now. And it's kind of working. And so, but we'll see how that looks on election day. But we think it's going to go past election day, knowing who we're dealing with, and that this person is a liar and a cheater, and they'll do anything to remain in power.
So to that point, and I definitely wanted to thank you again, and kudos to all of your accomplishments. You're very well accomplished, and you have a lot of things on your resume that are noteworthy. So congratulations to you. Thank you so much for coming on. But my question is, to that point of he may not, there might be some issues after election day with the current administration accepting whatever. What do we need to do for that? How do we arm ourselves with that? What is the approach that the Biden camp is sending out?
So first, I will say this. Seeing that we saw what happened with the Supreme Court and their nominee, the biggest thing is making sure folks go vote in person. That's number one. And also, if they're voting by mail, make sure that they're dropping those mail-in ballots off at those drop box locations. That's important. Not sending it in regular mail, but dropping it off at those drop box locations. I want to emphasize that again. We see who we're dealing with. We see who's now leading the Supreme Court. So it's important that everyone either do a couple of things: stand in line and go vote in person early, or they drop in their mail-in ballots at a location where that big old drop box is located, and actually go vote on election day. And so that's the big thing. Two, we have voter protection directors in a majority of the states. So we are armed and ready for chaos. We know who we're dealing with. We are being proactive here. We're just encouraging people to, again, go out and vote early. And if you have not voted early, go plan to vote on election day. And if you need information on that, visit iwillvote.com. It will tell you your status, where you can vote, etc. Or you can go to makeaplan.com. That'll let you know the same thing as well. So those two things, again, iwillvote.com and makeaplan.com will help you figure out your situation when making your plan to vote.
iwillvote.com and makeaplan.com.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we've been seeing in the news that crazy stuff like people setting fire to ballot boxes. So, and I actually took my ballot yesterday. I do have an absentee ballot here in Michigan. I took it to the county clerk's office, but they closed at 3 p.m. So I have to get out there early today to make sure that I'm dropping it off.
When is the last day to do a mail-in ballot? Because I kind of want to know, for people who are doing it the absentee way, can they do it on November 3rd? I don't think so. So when is the last day?
It depends on the state. Most of them do accept them. If it's postmarked by November 3rd, they will accept it. But again, if they visit iwillvote.com or make a plan, it will, once they put in their name, their mailing address, it will let them, it will show the information that they need to know. Those guidelines, because every state is different. But majority of the states, if it's postmarked by November 3rd, you're okay. And so again, that's why we feel like, possibly after November 3rd on election day, that the results will not be known to the general public. We think this is going to be something that's going to go past election day.
Monson.
No, I'm just proud of the brother coming up. I think it's a time, if you had a message right now for young brothers who are confused, because there have been what we call a digital celebrity voter suppression strategy, particularly pointed for Black men. And I think there is a lot of that. And so as a young Black man, I know for me, I have forgiven Biden for that moment. That because this society requires a little bit of forgiveness for everything just to get through that moment. And we need to put him in right now just to change the narrative. What would you say to young brothers if you were speaking at a Morehouse, at a Howard, on the block, in a barbershop, to the brothers that's just like, I'm still not certain what I need to do based on 1993, which I don't know anybody who's still holding resentment on 1993, but
I would tell them that, look, their concerns are legit. I would tell them to look at who we have now. We have a person that does not speak about race. They are very racist. Compared to a person that's willing to have the conversation, willing to not only be a healer, but also move forward and listen to us and our problems. That's a big thing. I would also tell them that, look, everyone's not perfect. However, that context of time when it comes to the 94 crime bill, as a person that was born in Chicago, that lived in Baltimore, and saw those things as a child in my face, the context of the time is completely different. Mm-hmm. And that also, during that time, a lot of people try to say Vice President Joe Biden is the architect of that. In all honesty, it was a group of people that supported him and pushed him to do that. That's how politics works. It's not an individual thing. It has to be a large group of support. And he had support actually within our communities to push that. And a lot of folks don't know that Vice President Biden, as a senator of Delaware has the, depending on what you're reading, the 8th/9th largest city of African Americans living there in Delaware. Seriously. And I say that to say his constituents, the people that vote him in, pushed him to do that. And so it goes way beyond, that's a conversation that the media, traditional media, would not express or talk about because it's not a sexy conversation. And it does not paint the picture that they want to keep especially when it comes to the opposition, i.e. the Republicans, they're going to try to smear, and they're the ones that took that bill that he had in there and they gutted out all the good stuff within that bill, because there's also a lot of good things within that bill. So I think they should think about the context of time, but also look at who we have right now. When you look at who is in front right now, we are dying in mass numbers. We have a president that has failed the American people, and a president does not have a plan. He does not have a plan to get us out of COVID. We're in a recession. Black people, particularly Black men, are suffering the most from COVID-19, job loss, etc. If that does not tell you where we are right now, and I think because of COVID being in this pandemic, you can't feel it that much because a lot of folks are still in the house. Everyone's not out being out in the public yet, but like we're in a bad situation right now. And we have a person that's running for president that has recovered the economy under the first Black president, Joe Biden. He got us out of the recession in 2009, 2010. He worked for the first Black president. Let me tell y'all something. Some people hate this and some people like it. Joe Biden's first big boss was a Black man, okay? And so for me, that says a lot. And to have him work directly with President Barack Obama and have that trust, I think that's a key thing here. Huge. Yeah. You know, and he understands our community, but the biggest thing is he's going to listen because we have a person that does not listen and that does not care. And that's the complete opposite of what we need right now.
Absolutely. Now, before you get out of here, we do have one last question for you. 5 days left to Election Day. What do we need to do for the people who have not gone out to vote? How do we get them out to vote? How do we rally them? What is left to do with 5 days left to the election?
And I just want to add before you answer that, because it's not just about voting. I want our entire community to have something to do. If you voted, still not enough. It's time to get involved. How can we get involved? How can we phone bank or any of the other things that you think we can do? Because many people are going to be off. What else can you do? Some have already voted, so we need to be doing other things.
Absolutely.
So all those are great questions and things that we need right now. If they go to joebiden.com, find their state, they can make tons of calls. We are still calling folks. We are still emailing folks. We're still texting folks. I know folks are probably
my text messages.
I know they are. I'm tired, and I work on the campaign. So if I'm tired, I know other folks are tired.
How y'all get my number?
We can't get tired now. We cannot get tired yet. We cannot get tired.
You're right. We have to go all the way to the end. But honestly, go to joebiden.com. And once you type in, how can I help, how to become a volunteer, now is that big time for that big push to get involved. You can make calls, you can text folks, you can email folks. You can Zoom with folks, and you can do it by your state, or you can also go do it in another state.
Okay.
Our key states that we're targeting are Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia and Texas, and Arizona. And so those are like in Florida. Those are our key states. That's our pathway to victory in those states like that, because they were missed in 2016. But I do have some good news. Voter turnout is at an all-time high right now compared to 2016. So it is a lot of momentum on the ground. I think people do know where we are in this moment. But that says don't get lazy, because we have to push this thing all the way to the end and probably beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time and coming on the show. We would love to have you back early next week so that we can kind of get a feel for what's going on. I will reach out to your reps and we'll go from there.
9 o'clock. Definitely. I look forward to it. Thank you all for having me. You all have a great day.
You as
Thank
well.
you. Thank you.
Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's great, brother. We got great news. You know, Tamika's coming to your city, Portia.
Okay.
They'll be there. They're closing out their 12-city tour. The Woke Vote and Until Freedom are all on their bus tour, and they'll end it in Detroit. So she said, come check her out. They're going to stay till the polls close and be on it. Portia, you want to introduce our guests?
Yes. Good morning, Steve James. How are you doing this morning?
I am good. How are you guys?
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Are we? Oh, okay. So, please introduce yourself to our morning show family, and I will get started right away.
Well, I am certainly not the first King James. I don't even know if I qualify as the second. I'm Steve James. I'm a documentary filmmaker, and tonight we are premiering a multi-part docu-series called City So Real, which is a portrait of Chicago that we captured over the last couple of years, especially including the wild and crazy mayoral election here, as well as the trial of Jason Van Dyke for the murder of Laquan McDonald, and then right up to the present with the pandemic and all of the upheaval in the wake of George Floyd.
Okay, wonderful.
What drew you to be interested to a city like Chicago and knowing you wanted to document Chicago?
Well, I've been here for 35 years now. Born and raised in Virginia, but Chicago really is my home. And you know, I've been doing this for a while, and I've done a number of films set here in Chicago, documentaries. My first
Hoop Dreams.
And
I have watched the series, so I just want to applaud you on. It's probably the realist, honest portrayal of the best and misunderstood and tragically, I think Chicago and many other countries, it feels like South America, Africa, every neighborhood is a fiefdom. Every political person is a chief of some sort or type. And just to watch a mayoral candidate pass out money at every church and have his own band. And, you know, when you think about that. And so I love the integrity of the piece as it shined a light. I really love the shooting. So you're not just as a director. I don't know if he had a cinematographer, a director of cinematography, but it was phenomenally shot. I enjoyed it watching it. I thought the series prepared those who haven't ever had a taste and who will never come to Chicago to get an idea of the honesty, and particularly for people who have an idea when they think of Chirac or anything else, it truly gave them, and obviously this is your interview, but I just want you to know that I was pleased at the honesty and the integrity that is in the piece. Because for me, and I'm in Chicago and live on the South Side, and we have a spot in Bronxville. So when you think about that, I'm very concerned on how people articulate graphically with cinema, and you're watching it, and all of a sudden you don't. And you went to all the neighborhoods. What was that like, putting all those pieces together? Because it is very, very, the title is appropriate. It is so real.
Well, thank you. First of all, it means a lot what you said about the series and its honesty. And as a South Sider, you would know. You know, we really did want it to be a ground level view of this city and its people, while looking at these larger issues that were unfolding, or events like the election and the trial. And we wanted to get to as many corners of the city as we could. We really let the story lead us to people. And we discovered people all along the way that were just, you know, and it's something I've discovered throughout my career, the everyday wisdom of regular people is something that I think we don't pay enough attention to. And we certainly saw it a lot. You know, things would inspire us to go other places. So like when we went to the Black barbershop in South Shore for that very amazing conversation that those guys are having, that inspired us. You know, I don't need to tell you folks, like the Black barbershop is such an iconic place, right, in the culture. And it made us think like, well, what goes on in white barbershops? I mean, we don't really see what goes on in white barbershops very often. And that inspired us to go to Bridgeport and into a white barbershop to sort of see what those guys talk about. And it's quite a contrast. It's quite a contrast.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that part of the contrast, because it was an honest contrast. You had a group of men, even the brothers in Chicago. A brother's gonna tell you, well, you know, you was in the military, and then you're a postal worker, and you've been eating mighty good. I'm a convicted felon. I can't go out. And it was a lot of banter. And then to watch the white barbershop where they talking about donuts, and everybody look like they've been eating donuts every day of their life, so they're overweight and they look like they're on a police pension, which they sounded like they were, and they started a barbershop and they're just angry at life. And life is, you talk about angry white men, they were the angry white men in a barbershop, and they were hiding the donuts from their friend. I mean, like it was just such honesty in that moment of storytelling. So I might have to meet you in person one day, because I just love the honesty. Like this young guy got shot in the back, and these police officers are like, but we're here to protect him, but you killed him. And all of this is going in the same conversation. And then obviously I know Maze and have been working with him for the last 25 years. So you sit back and you see Maze's growth just as a truth teller. And then he talks about the lawyers creating an industry, which I don't think, unless you captured that, people wouldn't think of it as a lawyers creating an industry off the death and the settlements of the individuals who are in Chicago. And literally it just says that across the country.
Yeah. When he said that, it was so striking. And it's why we made sure it was in the series, because you know, it's something that I have heard out in the streets when in filming, and heard. You know, I did this film a few years ago called The Interrupters, where we focused, where we looked at the issue of urban violence through these ceasefire, courageous folks from Ceasefire, and Amina Matthews, who is one of the stars, if you will, of that documentary, and is a close friend of mine now. She was telling me the very same thing, but not on camera. She was saying, you know, I have a real concern about this. And so when Maze articulated that on the show, it was just like, you know, Maze has got his finger on the pulse. We know that, right? and his honesty and candor is his stock and trade. He really tries to tell it like it is.
So Steve, this actually started off as a feature film, and you turned it into a series. Why the pivot? Why'd you pivot?
Because it just was so rich what we were getting, and we got sucked into you know, the stories and the unfolding drama of it all, but also we were just meeting so many amazing people. It dawned on me at one point that if we didn't expand it, that we'd probably end up telling much more of the story of the mayoral election and much less the story of the people of Chicago. And that we just couldn't do. So it was important. And then things happen like Ed Burke, you know, the 50-year serving alderman, most powerful alderman in Chicago, gets indicted. And I don't think anyone was shocked at that, but it happened. And we had to then pivot and deal with that as well.
Of course, I think your question was great. I think he was a filmmaker. He got in the cutting room, and the business has moved to the point where you could actually be a filmmaker and feel okay about having a series versus the day where it's not a movie. And you're like, you know what, I can encapsulate this enough because there's enough moving parts in the contextual great building of something that arcs all the way around. And no matter where a person comes in the series, because we've watched probably 3 of the 5, and when you look at it, you're like, I can enter at any moment and feel like I'm in Chicago in a way, and feel like the mood. And I love the way you really drape those issues and drape those ideas into a moment. How did you come to that? Because it doesn't get boring at all. And it keeps and then you don't have those crazy voices. And now we're in such and such. I really like the way you kind of, okay, now I'm here. And then people are able, Chicagoans, you really allowed them to say, and here's my story.
Yeah.
And this is how I fit. And you didn't have to kind of ask them questions to make them talk.
Well, not many. I mean, and you know, as a Chicagoan, I mean, people want to be heard. And that's one thing that I've discovered over the years. And when people feel like they have a real opportunity to be heard, that you're actually sincerely interested in what they have to say, then I'm amazed at how courageous and open people will be. There's a moment in episode 4 where we are with a Lyft driver, a young Black woman named Tracy Champion. And we met her because she was giving us a ride from one place to another. And she saw the camera and she was very, very outgoing. And she said, what are you guys doing? And so I told her we were doing this film, because it was a film at that point. We're doing this film that's focused around the mayoral election. And she started to talk about how much she loved one of the candidates, Tamar Braxton. And I said, excuse me, do you mind if I come in the front seat and just film you talking about?
Wow.
So you see that in the movie, you see that in the series, that she starts by talking about Tamar Braxton, and then the conversation just went to this other place, just organically, where she had this terrible experience earlier in the day with a white motorist who had been aggressive and racist towards her. And she starts to tell this story to us. And, we've just met Tracy, but it was on her mind. It was something that she was really wrestling with. And as a result, she was willing to share that story with us, which was kind of incredible. And she comes back around in episode 5 because we checked back in with Tracy. One of the things we do in episode 5, which is about the pandemic and the upheaval, is we go back to some of the people you got to know in the first 4 episodes to sort of check in with them and see how they're doing.
I love that.
I like the idea of Bud Billiken too. I think he caught the spirit, because Bud, for anybody who's there, because it also allowed that line of mayoral conversation to be captivated in there as well. So well done, but you know that. I think it's honest. I think the integrity in there. What would you say to because we often want young filmmakers who are thinking about how to tell good stories during this pandemic? What do you think are some of the things, just getting some insight from a giant like you who's been there? What gifts can you give to encouragement for people who want to shift and tell stories during the pandemic?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, right now I'm doing some mentoring of 2 young students, filmmakers who are trying to do that very thing. And one of the things I'm encouraging them to do is to recognize that there's going to be a lot of films out there that plunge you into the streets, right? I mean, that's the most obvious, and it's powerful and it's important, but that you're going to see a lot of that. And you're going to see a lot of that from veteran filmmakers who have track records and connections and the ability to get that story out there probably pretty easily, right? So what I tell them is what you can do is you dig down in and tell stories that we're not going to hear so easily. One of the filmmakers is telling the story through the eyes of what's going on now through her grandmother, who in the South, who suffered tremendous racism growing up, and now is looking at what's going on and sort of seeing through her eyes how she feels about what's going on. And I think that's a great perspective, right? That's a perspective that's not so obvious that people are going to get. The other filmmaker is based in Richmond, Virginia, my home state. And she has been focused on the trophies, I mean, the statues in Richmond, you know, that are coming down. She got all that vivid stuff in the streets, but she wants to make it a film that's also about the redlining of Richmond and the ways in which redlining has so defined the lives of Black people in Richmond. And I'm like, great. That, you know, it's like, that is not an obvious place to go to really understand what we're going through now. And so that's my biggest advice is think about the fact that there's so much that's going to be out there that people are going to get regardless, and what can you give us that people are less likely to see that can illuminate.
Wow.
Lastly, for anybody who is going to watch the series City So Real, which I recommend, what would you share with them on how to share and tell their friends about what makes Chicago real?
Wow. Well, I feel like you could answer this question better than me. It's, you know, I mean, I think part of the reason I'm still here 35 years later and still trying to tell stories of Chicago is because it is a complicated place. It's a place that is at times inspiring to me. It's at other times it's infuriating.
Yeah.
It's a place that is, you know, arguably the most segregated city in America, but yet I have seen tremendous progress among people across lines of race and coming together that is amazing to me and should be known. It's a town of political hardball. And Mays will say that if you can make it in politics in Chicago, you can make it anywhere. And I think he's right about that. So it's a fascinating city. And then on top of all of it, as unique as Chicago is in a way, and it's the birthplace of community organizing, and you see that as part of this city's DNA.
Right.
But, you know, despite all the things that make Chicago unique, it's also, you know, has been called the quintessential American city. And I think what goes on here is what goes on everywhere. So people who watch this series, I want them to get an up-close portrait of this unique city. I also want them to reflect on their own cities, where they live. How are these issues playing out in their lives and in their cities? Because we're all in this together is kind of the way I look at it.
So wonderful, wonderful. We are getting a lot of traction on Facebook in terms of when can we watch it. Some of the users already chimed in and said it comes on tonight, premieres tonight on the National Geographic Channel, 6 p.m. Central and 7 p.m.
Is that 7?
Yes.
7 Eastern, 6 Central, and 7 in Pacific time zone. And Mountain, I guess, is, I don't know what Mountain is, but but they're going to show it without commercial interruption tonight, the entire 5.5 hours.
Wow.
There will be breaks at the top of the hour, no fear, but and then it's going to be available on Hulu starting tomorrow. And so for people who, you know, who
stream. That would be me.
Yeah, who aren't willing to sit down for 5.5 hours tonight to watch it.
Well, we have options, so that's always a good thing. But thank you so much for coming on and sharing. We will definitely be tuning in tonight, as well as once it comes on Hulu, we'll be tuning in for that as well.
Well, Steve, you know, Portia didn't tell you, but she has a film and movie review show that she does every Sunday. So between now and when you get bored, you should get on the show with her and the ladies on the wind-up and have them talk about your show. Because there's some interesting women, obviously the mayor, but Chance, the rapper's in this. For all you who don't know, he's supporting a young woman for mayor. So dynamics. But Portia actually has a show, Steve, so you should get on that show so they can talk about your series.
Absolutely.
I'm here.
One caveat, Steve. One caveat. You have to have wine on the show. It's called the Wine Up, so you have to drink some wine.
I think I can accommodate that.
All right.
Thanks so much. Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Yes,
So
looking
real.
forward to it.
Steve, thank you for coming on Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. Great job. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Rolling Out AM with Terry, First King James, Professor Shropshire, Tierra Berry, Spelman graduate. Congratulations. And Portia, Black Panther, the militant today. And we are so here with a wake up call. Great. That's serious. And Romeo International is back.
Yeah, Portia, I would love to know, to have him ask the question, because he said two things that seemed kind of contradictory. He said he called it one of the most segregated cities, or the most segregated city in America, but he also called it the quintessential American city. So what I would like to know is that if he does come back on, what does that say about white America in particular? Like, if it's the most segregated city and we didn't create the segregation, but it's the quintessential American city, then what does that say about America and white Americans in particular, about their desire for true integration and true equality?
Okay, we'll have to explore that.
I think it depends on which white you talking about.
There go that Berry. She got something on her mind. I love it.
He's an ally, so I like him. I think I applaud him for
you gotta ask the questions. You're right, Terry. You gotta ask the questions.
So
I think
we'll explore it, Terry, for sure.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
But I think America is asking itself that with this election.
Yeah.
I mean, America is asking what is everything that they stand on. I think that when Killer Mike was here and we were talking, he was saying, well, we got to still revisit the 13th Amendment. We got a lot to do. And we got for them to recognize.
You said, throw it away. I said, I'm with you. Come on.
So, definitely.
Vote,
got some birthdays.
We got birthday.
Hey, we got a birthday.
We got balloons, yeah. The cake is on the way.
Okay, so happy birthday to Gabrielle Union, the definition of Black Don't Crack, as well as Miss Tracy Ellis Ross, who both turned 48 today.
Yes.
And then we got Randy Jackson, 59. Y'all know what kind of family, what crew he's with. So shout out to the 3 birthdays we got. Let's play their birthday song.
Yes,
and hit it.
Hit it.
We got balloons, yeah. The cake is on the way. We got the music playing, cause it's your holiday. Woo! We invited family, and everybody came. I strike a pose for me like you in a picture frame. You got your finest clothes on, and $1 million smile. So we gon' celebrate you for a while. Yeah. And don't forget we got these candles. When you away, don't forget we got the candles. Happy birthday, gonna celebrate you for a while. Candles, blowing you away. Wait. Candles. Happy birthday, happy girl. So if you're proud to make another
year, throw your hands up and wave them in the air. Happy birthday, y'all. 48 look good.
48 looks amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, and they still working, they still relevant, they still all of that. Yes.
Actually, I was watching Girlfriends last night. One of the first episodes, and Joan has been around for quite a while. You know, that is Tracy Ellis's her character's name, Joan in Girlfriends, and
yeah. I love watching Girlfriends 20 years later. Like, it's so crazy to think that that was 20 years. I was like 2. I was doing Girlfriends came. Oh my gosh! But now watching it, it's still so timely. It's still me and my friends. It's so on point. It's like they could have shot that yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And she looks the exact same. Like she might, she looks the exact same. She does look younger in Girlfriends, but she still has the exact same look about her. Like she stays in shape, her face is beautiful, her hair is healthy. She's just like, I'm let me show y'all how to do this.
Yep.
Shout out to her.
Yes. We got a social report. What are we doing?
I'm sorry, Ashley. Wherever you want to go, we can go.
What you laughing at, Romeo?
Wherever we want to go, you can go. Ashley, let's go there. All right, so let's jump into this. So 2 sisters were arrested in Chicago for stabbing a security guard for over 27 times for not wearing a mask. Basically, 21-year-old Jessica Hill, her 18-year-old sister Jalea, arrived at a shoe store. The security guard greeted them and asked them to put on a mask before entering. I guess the conversation escalated, and the 2 young ladies not only got into an altercation with the security guard, but once he was down, one sister held him and the other sister stabbed him. Now, I don't know what this big thing is about people and masks. It is not that serious.
It's so discouraging that they were that young and they felt like they had to go to those measures to get their point across or to feel respected or to whatever it was.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna be in jail for a long, long time.
But to see all these deaths, to see all these altercations socially, to see all these deaths over a mask,
right?
These individual people aren't asking you to wear a mask. The store is. How about you fight the store? How about you fight them? That man is just doing his job.
How about you just put on a mask? Like, just put on a mask or don't go out. Put on a mask or don't go out.
The lady at Starbucks is doing her job. Like, y'all, that's why I'm there with me and Portia said, like, you're not finna, first of all, you're not about to walk up on me. You're not about to talk to me crazy about a mask. And I go back to the altercation that I had at a local Waffle House where the signs are on the door, mask. The lady comes in without a mask. I'm not a communist. This is not a communist country. What are you talking about, woman? Like, okay, well, be a communist over there. It's not that serious, people. It really ain't.
Man,
no, I mean, I've just learned to leave people alone. Not even try to help them out in the streets, the store, or something's going wrong. It just has to go wrong because people are on edge so much that they will snap at the slightest provocation. As a matter of fact, sometimes they don't even need to be provoked to snap at somebody. So I just leave people alone. It's sad times, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard to even have a job like that because you can't pay me enough as a security and nothing for nobody to tell somebody to wear a mask and I end up getting stabbed 27 times. Man.
So my whole report is going to be welcome to the mask. I'm actually, I did find it. I'm gonna send it to her. The next slide, let's go there, Ashley, because this whole social report is about masks. So apparently, now I told y'all about El Paso yesterday. Germany said they're not playing no more either. The chancellor, Angela Merkel of Germany, has shut down restaurants, bars, and leisure facilities for 4 weeks due to the rapid rise of corona cases. She said, I don't give a flying flip what the nation government is saying, what Julio Iglesias is saying. I'm going to tell y'all what I'm about to do for my city, for my country. This is what it is.
And the chancellor is the equivalent of the president here, and they're a democratic society. And it would behoove America to follow their example of all these societies that are cutting back. Germany's just one of several that are going to tame this disease by shutting down temporarily. And you know what I'm saying? America would, we need to adhere to that kind of thinking. So,
yeah.
Brent Reborn, he's always so insightful on Facebook. He said, I wish somebody would come at me for asking them to put on a mask. He said this military training would be dusted off.
Hey, tell him, Brent. like I'm telling y'all, I am not an advocate of this, but I am an advocate of y'all gotta stop letting people just walk up on y'all, man. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like,
well, that's not. No,
what I'm saying is,
violence.
Say that again.
I'm saying, in my opinion, defense of yourself is not violence. That's just common sense.
Correct. But I think what me and Portia was talking about last week was people are allowing people, like, you're allowing somebody to get this close to, like, you're not about to be this close to my face.
Oh man, I was in the shopping at a supermarket, and all of a sudden this little lady just walked up on me. You thinking? Hold on, now, Romeo. Before Portia interrupts me again, I think Collins. I'm thinking of a senior citizen, so my heart is moving, right?
Okay.
And then I remember I'm in Chicago, and I know it's something I really wouldn't mind giving her $2, but it's COVID, don't need none.
Right.
And asking for that. So I had to tell her, back up. I didn't do the Terry, put my hands in the air, but Terry, I had to ask her politely, back up. And she had creeped up on me because she wasn't but 5'2". And I felt bad, but I'm like, you got to back up. Went away. So people had this habit now of walking up on people. So you got to be really aware. And my awareness was way down because she was up on me, and I'm like, why am I listening to this lady with no mask?
Right. Right.
Yeah. I've definitely had some recent friendships that have been negatively impacted by my stance because you're not going to get in my face. Barefaced it. I mean, your breath is already bad, and you're not going to give me a disease on top of that. So there's some people.
Do you tell your friends that they're breast stink? Or no?
I do. I'm that friend.
You're that friend?
I'm that friend.
Uh-huh.
Everybody knows
I like to sneak it like, you want some gum?
We talking about protecting yourselves, and y'all talking about breath. Oh Lord.
No,
see, that's Portia.
He brought it up.
D Shield said, Terry, we do not live in a time, which is sad. D Shield said, Terry, we do not live in a time where no violence in response is always an option. And she said that's the sad part. Like, it's kind of sad that, not saying violence is an option, but knocking somebody, protecting yourself is literally the first option now. And once it said, she creeped up on him. So when he turned, hey, what you doing? Like, hey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the first law of nature is self-preservation. So when my friend who's no longer my friend, he don't speak to me, and I don't care.
Damn.
When he rolled up on me and was like this close to my face, wanted to talk about some sports or whatever, something trivial, I had to back up and to like, all right, dude, just kind of like this.
I mean, that was kind of before the pandemic too. Like, people really need to just practice social distancing in general. Before the pandemic, I was like, give me 3 feet. Now it's 6, but still, in general, just give me 3.
Doing that. So speaking of 3 feet, this next report actually blew me away because I hope Ashley pulled up the right one. It was interesting. Not that one, Ashley, but okay. So prayers going out to everybody across the country. Hurricane Zeta is really ripping up a storm. 32 million people under the tropical storm warning, and 1.7 million people are without utilities across the South. And when I say across the South, I mean across the South. So no internet, no power, pandemic, and you stuck at home. Hey man,
You know what I'm saying? This is what I was talking about earlier. You know, sending out love to the people who are impacted by this because, man, I mean, you know, most of the people cannot afford to stay home. They got to get to a job. When you ain't got no electricity, your job might be down. You can't get the means. Man, that's a terrible place to be. You got bills.
Right.
That's terrible.
And I'm still trying to find it. And lastly, I'm trying to find that video because I really want to show y'all that video that me and Portia talking about. This right here, now, this is what it was. So check this out. Now, I'm gonna break this down for you. This young lady is an exchange student. Okay. So the student broke a quarantine law that, okay, let me back up. She's an exchange student in New Jersey. She's from Sweden. Okay. She had COVID. The Sweden international student, whatever, issued a law that she had to stay at her location and she could not come outside. On Instagram,
in Sweden?
She posted. No, she's in New Jersey. She's an exchange student in New Jersey. She posted a picture of her being outside, which broke quarantine. She was fined $8,500 and a
from who? Right, who fined her?
From the exchange student program.
Yeah, they just want some money.
She needed to stay her ass inside.
Right.
$500?
Yeah, but it ain't. Yeah, but it ain't about.
Right, 22-year-old, infected traveler, and she was told by her family that in order for her to still maintain school, that she would have to self-isolate. She did not follow their rules. So what happened was they said that you were either going to do jail time or you're going to pay this fine, and her family paid the fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's about the
Sweden though.
Yeah, but I don't think.
Was she in another country?
I don't think it's about anybody trying to get any money. It's about her not following the rules.
The rules.
And she
the
was
rules.
Right. I feel like that's a really expensive fine, though. That's just my opinion. That's a really expensive fine. $85.
But next time, stay your ass at home.
Stay at home. That is a wonderful deterrent. Because I don't care how exorbitant that cost is. Stay your ass at home, and you have no place to play, and nobody can collect no money because you're following the rules. That's her fault. I don't feel sorry for her at all.
Thank you, Terry. We're going to allow you, exchange student, to go back to school. Here are the rules that we are going to imply for you to go back to school. So guess what? You messed up. So either pay this fine or you're going to come home and go to jail. Or we're going to bring you back. We'll cancel that visa, that click.
That's interesting. I just think that's a lot of money. But that's just me understanding broke college students and knowing that that's a lot.
It's a lot of money, but she should have left her ass in.
Yeah, she should have stayed at home.
Stayed at home.
You know what I'm saying?
She should have followed the rules. She should have did what she needed to do. $8,500 is a lot.
Before we go to Terry's social report, let Portia's son get sent to another country and he's supposed to follow the rules. And then he called her, "Hey, mama, I need $8,500 because
jail, boo. You better do them 30 days."
Yeah, but you gotta remember when you think about somebody being on a ventilator or infecting 2 or 3 people with COVID, it's more than $8,000.
Right.
That being in
that's hundreds of.
Yeah, and I mean that's what people are not seeing. The cost of COVID on this country is gonna be enormous. Because they're talking about some people with this long haul COVID are literally going to have disability because some people have foggy memory. Mm-hmm. Some people have had kidney shutdown.
No, as a matter of fact, good point, Muncie, because of the fact that there was a superstar from way back in the day. His name is Christopher Cross. And he used to do that soft rock stuff. He's paralyzed for catching the coronavirus. So $8,500 is actually minuscule compared to the hundreds of thousands of dollars for each patient. And I just look, Utah has a record outbreak. Wisconsin has a record outbreak. I'm looking at CNN now. They got all these record outbreaks. Thinking about those people in the hospital.
But it started out as a black city infection that wasn't affecting everybody else. So it made it simple for people to say it's hurting them.
Mm-hmm.
So my
question, I think that it's a lot for if we implemented that in the States, right? And it's like if you are exposed to COVID, you have to isolate for 14 days. That's not just wear a mask. That's not practice social distancing. That's stay home, right? Is this what it is, Romeo? Did she have to stay home? She couldn't go nowhere, or she just couldn't wear a mask? She had to wear a mask.
No, here's the thing. If United States implemented, hey, if you go outside this door, you will be fined. Like what we talked about in El Paso, the $250 fine or the $500 fine. Hey, you step outside.
Going outside. Huh? Was El Paso for a mask or going outside in general?
El Paso was for a mask. This situation was she was supposed to be self-quarantine, meaning that you're in your dormitory home. You have no reason to come outside that dormitory home. Period.
Okay. So you think so should America go back to everybody needs to isolate, kind of how we did in the beginning in March? And like, can we do that and everybody get fined $8,500 if they step outside?
You can just prepare after the election.
If you took it,
because my question is, do we
you're gonna have
do we wear a mask?
But you're gonna have another shutdown in
Christmas.
I agree.
Yeah, by holiday you're gonna get some, and you're definitely once Biden's election, you'll have a national policy. Like right now, there's no national policy. Everybody doesn't have a policy. We're still debating policy. We're riding. It's no reason not to have a national policy. When you leave your home, you must protect yourself and others. There's no reason now. Yeah. You got masks. They got mask production. You can buy a mask everywhere now.
So here's my thing. That 14-day thing, that don't work. But you tell people or businesses, hey, when you treat it like a traffic ticket, hey, if I see
I agree, yeah.
You gonna get a $50, $100 ticket? Oh, you'll switch up quick on that?
Yeah, I think it makes more sense to have something like that where you're charging people to wear a mask or not wear a mask. But I don't think the whole country can just isolate.
Well,
they did back in March. They did back in March.
Right, yeah. So I'm over the fact that I can't go to Hawaii for Christmas. So I'm over it. I wanted to go to Hawaii.
You weren't going no way. I mean, come on, quick. I wasn't going nowhere. Quit.
Hawaii.
I mean,
I can't go
now. Does Terry have a report?
Right. Because we got people flossing about things. We got people flossing about things.
Terry's report.
Okay. Let's go to my report because we got people flossing about stuff they ain't gonna never do. But anyway, so Darnella Frazier, the young 17-year-old teenager she's not considered a hero because she recorded the George Floyd's death as it was taken from him by former Minneapolis officer Derek Chauvin, and now she's going to be honored by the Penn given a Denison Award on December 8th. And so she is undergoing counseling right now because not only did the whole thing traumatize her by witnessing a live death, but also the people. Go ahead, Romeo.
She's being honored for filming the death?
She's probably bringing it to light, probably a bravery award or something like that.
Okay, let me back up, Romeo, because the fact is that if it had not been for her recording of this death live in the way that it traumatized the entire world, this national insurrection and this international blowback against the United States probably may not have happened, because you remember everything exploded socially from that point. That was the thing that lit the powder keg. And so she's being honored because she stood there and tried to get the officer to get off his neck, screamed at him, and she had enough courage to do that because she is the person who has social anxiety. Mm-hmm. Like she's one of those people where she get around crowds, she freaks out. So she exhibited courage going against her natural instinct, which is to flee, and sit there and record it, and then had to withstand the blowback from many people who saying that, why didn't you do something? Why didn't you stop the cop? As if she could have done something to that cop. And she's undergoing counseling because the entire thing traumatized her, and it's probably amplified because of the fact that she is not comfortable around people. So she should be honored.
Yeah.
I mean, she should be honored. Everything that you saw in terms of people in the streets in every major city in this country and around the world is because of this young lady's recording. She should be on it, Romeo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was just lost in the word. Like I was lost in the word.
But I think many times for Black heroism, it is misunderstood, and so she was a hero in that moment. And once again, we are in the moment of our young Black queens demonstrating courage and intuition that is almost spiritual. It is spiritual. In a very transformable way, transforming our society forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you think about it, she joins that entire ranks of Tierra Berry, Tamika, all those young women who are literally forging the way forward for our society to look at itself. It's her lens. Because the one thing is, she did that Rosa Parks on them. She literally said to them, I'm nobody to y'all. Y'all don't know me. I'm not Cardi B. I ain't got no skin in the game, but God moved through me and I'm going to show you yourself and the injustice that happens to Black skin and to Black men today. And I'm here. Because if they could have attacked her in any way, if she would have been a reporter, if she would have been anybody else, but God chose her and used her lens to showcase what was going on. That's why not only is it an award, we literally need to give her a holiday. Because if it hadn't been for her. So far too many heroes don't get what they need or deserve. And Portia should have her on the morning show.
Absolutely. We got to find her. Yeah, she is. So we'll look for her.
Agreed. I agree.
Great call, Terry.
What's a Denison Award? Is it what kind of award was it?
I'm not.
But we're gonna let him
I'm not exactly
report.
No, it's
that is his report. He did tell us what type of award it was. I can't believe that he came on and he wasn't organized enough to know.
So now he's getting attacked. For that. God.
But we'll give you a pass. Pass.
It is a award for courage. It's a courage award. Courage.
Just made that up.
No. It's in the report. No, it's in the report. It is an award for valor. So.
And what's her name again? Can we highlight her name one more time? Can we say it?
Darnella Frazier.
Hey, shout out to Darnella Frazier. You're my hero today.
Hey,
go
Terry.
Darnella.
Hey, Terry, submit me for an award because I'm gonna record this attack that Portia is doing on you.
I mean, because man,
I'm damn.
Yeah, there she is again. 17-year-old Darnella Frazier. Yes.
Got it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
All right, let's move on to the next clip in my segment, please. The brilliant producer Ashley. Whenever you get the time, if you're on your break. But anyway.
Ashley this morning.
Breonna, I was talking to you earlier about the latest developments in the Breonna Taylor case. And so I don't know if you saw the report with Gayle King on CBS this morning, where she had two of the jurors. And they really clarified what really went on behind the scenes with Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron. I want you to remember that name, Attorney General Daniel Cameron of Kentucky, who went out there and tried to preach. He pontificated to the world as to why people need to get out of our state, start telling our state what to do, that we have justice in here, and y'all don't know what about our laws because y'all don't live here. Well, it looks like he circumvented the laws. And what he did is that he did not even bother to produce homicide charges for the grand jury to even consider. And so the grand jury cannot produce charges that they're not presented. And so
they can't examine
through the jury. Right. So the juror number one told Gayle King that it was criminal, or he said that it was, criminal. And then the second juror said something to the effect that it was just lackadaisical how it was presented, and it was wrong. And so now Breonna Taylor's mother is now going back to the public, or going back and asking for a special prosecutor to present all of the evidence to a different grand jury. And my thinking is, if you people in Chicago can bring ridiculous charges and waste our time bringing a special prosecutor for Jussie Smollett and that insignificant Jussie Smollett, Juicy Smollett, if you could bring charges, a special prosecutor for a inconsequential case, then you definitely could bring a special prosecutor for this for Breonna Taylor and justice for her.
I think this needs to be
her,
a national. It needs to be tried nationally.
Not gonna happen.
Well, that's another reason for all those brothers that are literally on the fence why you need to support the Biden-Harris ticket. If you believe in Breonna Taylor, then you need to definitely take the time from my social report to go ahead and actually vote
they definitely
Biden-Harris.
they need to do something. They need to do something for this because Daniel Cameron, I mean, all skin folk ain't your kinfolk, first of all. Second of all, I think that it's hard to try these type of cases and you're using especially when it comes to the police and the government within this system. It's like you're asking people within this system to try and go after the same people who are their friends, who are their colleagues, who are this. It's a conflict of interest. Like, it's the same reason why a wife can't testify against her husband. Like, why are we even having this conversation about whether or not Daniel Cameron and the police should be involved in the investigation?
Here's the wall they're going to run into that nobody wants to. I've been keeping up. Nobody wants to pay attention to this. The wall they're about to run into is that the family accepted the wrongful death suit, the 20 million. They accepted the money for the wrongful death, right? So now, the fact that her mother or family is speaking out, they're going against the agreement of whatever was put on paper about that wrongful death, whatever, da-da-da-da. So the problem that they're having right now, as far as it getting across to, or whatever they're trying to push, is the fact that they agreed for that money. That's the hump they got to get over first.
Now, question, did they know when they agreed to that money that those charges were never brought into the jury? Or is this new information that got out post the Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is that the money portion and the legal portion are not really even connected, because whether or not they knew or not, or whether or not the officers got convicted or not, they were still going to get that money because that comes from the city. But to answer your question, yes, the U.S. Department of Justice is investigating. I believe the FBI is currently just looking over the evidence for some federal charges, as they did in the Rodney King case way back in the day, where the guys got exonerated. They still went to prison because the FBI and the Justice Department prosecuted them. So, yeah, let me move on quickly because we're getting late. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, do you honestly, because I know you, King James, do you honestly think in your heart the police are gonna get charged? The officer?
I do believe it's possible that they might get charged by the federal government, by the U.S. Department of Justice, not by the state or the county or the city. The federal government is possible. And if they do get a special prosecutor, yes, I definitely believe they will be charged, because Daniel Cameron deliberately not only withheld evidence, but Daniel Cameron also went to the grand jury and said you should not consider these charges of homicide because they won't stand up. So he discouraged them. He discouraged them from even considering homicide charges, which was wrong. And it's all coming out now, and that's why Daniel Cameron did everything that he possibly could to have the judge not to allow the jurors to speak, because he didn't want the public to know that. All right, so on to my next segment. On to my next segment. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want it to come up now. I wanted to use that, Ashley, for my positive thoughts, but I wanted to have the next ones move on, because I wanted to give a shout out to the two female queens on the panel, on the co-host. But if you go on to my next segment, if you still have it up there.
We got you, Terry. You know we got it up there. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Give a shout out.
Yes. There's a lot of talk on social media right now about Portia's hero, Tiffany.
Let me tell you something.
Okay, but anyway, about Common and Tiffany Haddish have reportedly unfollowed each other. Aww. I don't know what kind of app do you have to even know that somebody unfollows somebody. I mean, what is this? But anyway, it's been true in the past when Portia Williams unfollowed her fiance last year. It turned out to be true that they did break up. And there's another one that I found out earlier this year that when they started unfollowed each other, they also broke up. So now the same publications are reporting that Kamiyah and Tiffany Haddish have unfollowed each other. And man, Tiffany went off about all her ex-boyfriends on social media, calling them all F-boys, and that they still wanted to come to her to have some sex.
Oh wow!
I don't know what that says about her.
Yeah, why is she spilling tea like that across social media?
Right.
Okay. Maybe they wanted to, and she didn't allow them to. That's what she was saying. I understand now. Okay.
Shout out to Kamiyah.
Kamiyah don't have a type. Kamiyah don't. I don't know what the hell be going on with Kamiyah.
Yeah, Kamiyah moves around. As long as you famous, Kamiyah is with it.
He likes a lot of variety. But let me tell y'all this again for the umpteenth time. Stop putting y'all relationship on social media. Like, number one, even if you are in a relationship, you don't have to follow each other on social media. Number one, that causes a lot of issues when both of y'all are on social media and y'all following one another, and I can stalk your page and you can stalk my page and you see all this going on in my page and I see all this. Just stop it. Stop it. Then we won't be having to report on the fact that we broke up. Speculation that we broke up, we unfollowed each other. Just stop.
I agree. Totally, wholeheartedly. I agree because if you don't, because we're all human beings, and we're going to get influenced by what we read, and take into consideration things from people that you don't even know who have no vested interest in your relationship, and he might be jealous of you. So therefore, you're taking on that energy. So no, keep your relationships off of IG.
It just causes unnecessary confusion, arguments, distractions. Like, don't do it.
You ain't tagging me in nothing. That's man law 101. You ain't tagging me in nothing.
We don't even need to be friends. Like, we good. We see each other all the time. I don't need to be your friend on social media.
Right. Anyway, on to our next. I think I have one more segment. If I'm correct, Ashley, I think I have one more.
Baby story. Baby.
Yes, this is okay. So this is what I'm talking about when we're talking about you need to take care and take heed about taking care of your mental health.
Oh my gosh.
So a man in Nevada they had gotten into an argument. They said he was already suffering from mental health, and I think this also speaks to Romeo's report about the two Chicago women who stabbed a man for just basically asking him to put on a mask, and they stabbed him almost 30 times. This goes to that mental health. Where is your head at that where you could take your own child that's 2 months old and toss them from a second floor balcony? It's just incredible to me.
That's disturbing, Terry. Did the baby survive?
Trigger warning.
No. When the officers arrived, when the first responders arrived, the mother was out there on the pavement. Trying to get resuscitate the child, but of course, So a human would probably not survive or fall directly onto the pavement from the second floor, much less a baby. So I
was hoping maybe she landed on grass or something. I don't know.
No, I'm sorry, she didn't survive. So this is just another powerful, horrific message about if you feel like you are really, really depressed, please seek help any way you can get it.
Go to therapy. I can't wait. I got my session tomorrow. Can't wait.
And be proud of it. We need to stop stigmatizing it. I mean, the stigma is deteriorating. The stigma is dissipating away. It's time for people to get help, and I understand, especially in these times. That leads to the positive thoughts and my slide. Now you can bring up Mr. Huey P. Newton, Mrs. Ashley. Thank you very much. And so, as I read our positive thoughts of the day, I wanted to give shout outs to our two queens here on our two queen co-hosts about Mr. Huey P. Newton. He was not just some wild-eyed, crazy, pretty boy who was going around shooting people. This was an intellectual. He was the founder of the most revolutionary Black organization this country has ever seen. And he went ahead and got his doctorate degree, which is a shout out to Tiara, who just graduated from Morehouse. And also shout out to Portia. And also to Portia, who has on her Black Panther regalia today. And so, you know what I'm saying? It's just just an ode to Huey Newton and the Black Panthers. Also, a shout out to our sisters who got to the education and also is representing the Black Panthers. And also for Muncie, who also has, the
beret.
The beret, yes. So anyway, I pass on to Romeo International. Oh, I'm sorry, Romeo Thor International.
First of all, I'm not going to thank anybody that attacked you today. That's number one. Number two,
that was yesterday. That was yesterday. Today is today. Today is emotional. We moved on.
Let it
from
go.
That. We
Let
good.
it go.
My partner.
Let it go. Let it flow.
Can I be allowed to finish my positive thought as a man?
Perhaps.
Yeah, go ahead, Romeo.
Jesus, man. My positive thought of the day is always stay protected. We spoke about protecting the vote. We spoke about protecting people in your health. But I'm specifically speaking to you. Protect you. Stop allowing people to invade your space, people. This is not the time or the era. And I would like to pass it to King James.
I just went as I gave a
so
shout out.
Funny. He's so
I'm
funny.
gonna pass it to
Party
you.
hard.
You.
Okay, I'm gonna pass it on to Tiara Bear.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I received that with so much love and light.
Yeah.
My positive thought of the day is to never be afraid to speak your truth. Be opinionated. Say what you got to say. If you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. So speak your truth no matter what anybody got to say about it. And I'm going to pass the ball to Miss Portia.
I caught it. Thank you, Miss Tiara Berry. So eloquently spoken.
Can we get on with it?
So I thought we made up, Tiara.
I thought we wasn't interjecting into people's positive thoughts.
Okay. Today, I saw this and I thought it would be perfect for positive thoughts. And also encouraging everyone to vote. Vote number one. Vote number one. Vote. That's my number one positive thought. But when you focus on the problems, Romeo International, you'll have more problems. But when you focus on the possibilities, you'll have more opportunities. Go out and vote, y'all. Focus on the possibilities.
Preach.
Focus on the possibilities.
Preach.
Focus on the possibilities.
Okay, can you pass the ball?
Throw the ball to Munson Beret.
Well, it's about time. You acted like Kobe. You didn't want to pass the ball. Go ahead.
Munson Beret, Steve.
Yeah, well, thanks everybody for watching Rolling Out AM with Tiara Berry, Portia, Militant, Monique, Terry, Professor, First King James, and Romeo Thor. We want to thank you guys for listening to us as we enjoyed our day, spending our time with you to hear. If you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything, Miss Berry. We want to make sure that our community does not fall. If you're going to fall forward, but don't fall for the shenanigans that are going on out here to suppress our votes. There's a ton of shenanigans, including people that look like you and I. So do not fall for the shenanigans. Do not be paralyzed in a time warp. We know things have changed. So get out, get involved. Even if you have voted, be sure that you are figuring out how to continue to organize this community. This will not be our last stand as it relates to participating. We need to stay organized, get organized, and continue to participate. We're proud of all of you. Stay positive and be the sunshine in somebody's life. Shine bright, shine warm. We are Rolling Out AM with Tiara Berry, Portia Monique, the First King James, Romeo Thor, and congratulations to Tiara Berry.
Class of 2020, we up.
We all the graduates out there, we send you love, light, and prayers to you.
Congrats.
Parents and grandparents, aunts, uncles, and everybody else who helped these babies and young people make it across the line. Life has just begun for you, and it is bright. We'll see you tomorrow, you guys. Peace.
See y'all tomorrow.